Well, good evening, America. It is 7 p.m. It's Thursday, October 8th, and this is Queer News Tonight, the world's first live LGBTQ daily evening news. And it's time to queer up the news.
You know, can you believe a little fly just came in front of me? I'm not even lying. Watch as we bring you these and other stories from the LGBTQ headlines. A contractor has been busted on hidden camera slurring a gay couple, and I wish I could say I was surprised.
On a lighter note, Patti LuPone roasts Donald Trump in sidesplitting duet with Randy Rainbow, and we are all here for it and laughing our asses off.
Don't you hate those pesky flies? I hate them. And we're also going to report on the tragedy that continues to strike out at LGBTQ family here in America as the killings of transgender Americans reach an all-time high. Well, good evening, America. It is 7 p.m. Thursday, October 8th, 2020, and it is time to queer up the news. We are literally out of the closet into the headlines. So many of your stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight. Tonight on the world's first live daily queer evening news show.
Tonight's news about the gay community and the news from an LGBTQ perspective. Are our gay stories important to you? In headlines, politics, entertainment, gay culture, travel, religion, and more. Reported by respected anchors.
Out of the closet and into the headlines on Q News Tonight. Well, thank you, America, for joining Queer News Tonight. We are live. This is an unedited evening LGBTQ news show, so anything can happen. This evening, we bring you the news of and a perspective from the LGBTQ community. And I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. And this is my co-anchor, Faye What? And David Hopkins. Let's queer up the news. Tonight we begin with queer headlines. The LGBTQ community in America is diverse, while the LGBTQ community around the world is vast. We bring you the bullet points of queer news for today, Thursday, October 8th, 2020. Let's begin by queering up gay culture and reporting that Queer News Tonight celebrates National Coming Out Day, October 11. This weekend is National Coming Out Day, an annual LGBTQ awareness day observed on October 11 to support lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people in, quote, coming out of the closet. First celebrated in the United States in 1988, the initial idea was grounded in the feminist and gay liberation spirit of the personnel or personal being political and the emphasis on the most basic form of activism, being coming out to family, friends, and colleagues, and living life as an openly lesbian or gay person. The foundational belief is that homophobia thrives in an atmosphere of silence and ignorance, and that once people know that they have loved ones who are lesbian or gay, they are far less likely to maintain homophobic or oppressive views. So to celebrate National Coming Out Day, we ask, why is the celebration of this day important in 2020?
You know, Al and David, National Coming Out Day is important no matter what year it is. It's just one of those days that, like, you're able to just spill the beans, so to speak. You know, like, I remember coming out to some of my friends and family, and I was so worried. I was so nervous. I wrote down what I wanted to say. And when I told them, you know what their answer was? Duh. You know, but it's also, it gives a voice to the voiceless. And, you know, on National Coming Out Day, I think about all the allies, all the A and LGBTQIA that allow us a safe space to come out.
I came out September 26, 1999. I was working at Disney at the time. And one of the most important things about National Coming Out Day is not just sharing your own story, but being there for people to come out to you, because sometimes somebody just needs one person to open up about, to get it off their chest. So if anybody in our audience needs to contact me to share their stories or to ask for advice, please do. I'm here for you, and I'll help in any way I can.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And, you know, I was very closeted, and it was a masculinity issue. In high school and in college, I was president of a fraternity. My friends were football players, wrestlers, I never was able to take advantage of the value of being friends with football players and wrestlers, but I was very closeted. And then when I came out after college, it was a very hard transition. I wish I would have done it years earlier, and that's what I learned. And I think today in 2020, the number one reason of the envisioning in the 1980s of National Coming Out Day is as true today as ever. If we're going to defeat evangelicals and political leaders and a vice president that still thinks gay is a choice, the best thing for us to do is to put our gayness, our LGBT community, right in front of their face. It is harder to be homophobic when I look you in the eye.
Well, and it's hard to hate somebody you love.
Exactly. Next up, let's queer up Vote 2020. Well, of course, last night was the debate, and we are reporting Hannity and company lost their minds last night when Geraldo says Kamala was confident at the debate. Watch this.
I think you're burying the lead, though, Sean. The only real mistake Kamala Harris made tonight was the over-smirking, over-smiling. She had to sell herself to the American people as not a scary lady, that she would be a competent, believable, credible vice president. I think that she passed that threshold. She was rattled on China. The only time she was really rattled, the vice president scored on the economy, on taxes. Although I don't know why the president and vice president haven't hit the fact that black unemployment is the lowest it's ever been.
What debate did he watch?
I don't know what debate you watched.
What debate did he watch?
Let me go to.
Apparently, Fox News correspondent Geraldo Rivera missed the memo. You're not supposed to praise Kamala Harris's debate performance on Sean Hannity's show. Left-wing shows condemned Pence for his, quote, limp and lame appearance. And right-wing shows claimed that Harris was lying through her teeth. On Hannity, however, Rivera made the unspeakable faux pas of saying something nice about the other party's potential Veep. According to Rivera's rave review, the only mistake Kamala made was, quote, over-smirking and over-smiling. Whew, big negative issues, it sounds like. In his opinion, she passed the threshold of being, quote, competent and believable on the debate stage.
I'm still on the limp. What was it? Limp and what? I love that. Okay, but if you guys saw that, didn't it remind you of the presidential debate a couple of weeks back? I mean, it was like they were all bullying on Geraldo. I mean, come on. And yeah, did she smirk or smile too much? I didn't see it. I think she owned it with her little power suit that she had going on, right? And she's got like this Jennifer Beals kind of look to her. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Come on, she does.
Yeah.
You know, I have to say, even though he ended up quite the fly in the ointment of Handy, that his assessment was one of the most fair of the debate I've seen. He really called it as a tie, because even though Pence was debating, neither of them were answering questions. Pence was over talking, but they both were pretty on point with their messages during the whole thing.
You know, I have, sorry for interrupting.
No.
I have this sneaking feeling that this damn fly is going to work its way all the way through the newscast tonight.
Wow.
I don't understand what's happening. Interesting to me that Geraldo Rivera does something that you can't do at Fox News, and perhaps on our side either, at MSNBC or CNN. If you don't drink the Kool-Aid in 100% way, you are rejected and shouted down. And I think that's an interesting observation that Faye makes. Wait, it sounds just like what we're watching in the presidential politics.
Very true. All right, so let's queer up entertainment. Patti LuPone roasts Donald Trump in side-splitting duet with Randy Rainbow. Watch this.
Welcome back to the first presidential debate. Two queens stand before me. Gentlemen, before the time comes for you to lip sync for your lives, why don't we begin with some preliminary questions? Joe?
Just pours gasoline in the fire constantly.
Vice President Biden,
you look at the polls, I'm doing better than any Republican has done in a long time because they saw what you did.
I'm having a panic attack.
You and me both.
Oh my God, Patti LuPone, what are you doing here? I'm busy.
When gay men are in crisis, I just materialize.
Randy Rainbow is at it again, accompanied by Broadway star Patti LuPone. Randy Rainbow belted out a special parody rendition of Stephen Sondheim's If Mama Was Married. The song, If Donald Got Fired, features comedic and foul-mouthed mentions of William Taft, Abraham Lincoln, Lindsey Graham, and of course, Melania Trump. The Broadway legend said it best herself, when gay men are in crisis, Patti simply materializes.
You know, one of my favorite lines from that movie is, you know, when they're saying fire Trump, he's like, I'd love to sing about something else. Fire Trump. Yeah, I'm ready for it. Vote November 3rd.
You know, when you combine icon legend in the LGBT community of Patti LuPone to the humor of Randy Rainbow, you've hit a perfect 10 in the ballroom scene, as they say. Randy Rainbow, you have an immense friend here at Q News tonight. Period.
We love you. We love you, Randy Rainbow. And do you guys remember Patti from Life Goes On when she was Corky's mom back in the day?
Yeah.
Living legend. Thank you so much for giving us that.
That's exactly right.
Next week, Queer Up the USA. Contractor busted on hidden cameras slurring a gay couple. Watch this.
Elder's partner answered the door and was told the water would be shut off to fix the main. But it's what he heard after the door was closed that made him take a look at their surveillance footage.
Unfortunately, it was what we heard and also much more.
And it was all caught on camera. Elder's security cameras, to be exact. You can hear the homophobic slur as the man walks up to the door.
Hey.
And the offensive comments continue.
You know, your group showers done, buddy. I'm a queer.
So I thought it was very fortunate to be able to capture this on camera to really show what so many people in the LGBTQ community go through.
A gay couple's doorbell camera caught a city contractor making very homophobic slurs as he waited on their doorstep. The man playfully waved his arms around as he called the couple dope-smoking queers who take group showers. Those are fun. Since the security camera is concealed, he did not know he was being recorded. The perpetrator, who is not an employee of the City of Tulsa, has been fired from his job and relieved of all City of Tulsa projects.
Group showers, what's the big deal? Next, we're going to queer up the USA and reporting that the killings of transgender Americans has reached an all-time high, rights group points out. 2020 has been a terrible year on multiple fronts, but one overlooked frequently is the tragedy that is occurring in violent treatment of transgender people. This month, Felicia Harris, a 33-year-old Georgia woman, became America's 31st trans or non-conforming person to die by violence in this year. The violence has likely been exacerbated by the global pandemic lockdowns, during which trans people could be stuck in quarantine with people who will harm them. The Human Rights Campaign, which keeps tally of the murder statistics, admits the number may be underestimated due to lacking or incorrect reporting.
Next, let's queer up entertainment. Leslie Jordan, king of quarantine videos, has a new show. Watch this.
Hey, well, shit, what are y'all doing? Look at this. This is my new hosting gig. Move over, Vanna White. It's called Squeaky Clean. It's a competitive cleaning show on Quibi. Gonna be a lot of fun. It's an app called Quibi.
I met Leslie Jordan once, and the top of his head reached the bottom of my boob. I'm not even kidding. After months of reliable entertainment from actor Leslie Jordan, we can consider ourselves lucky to be blessed by yet another creative masterpiece. Jordan's new show, Squeaky Clean, will be a cleaning competition of 2 head-to-head rounds of hilariously tidy nonsense. Jordan is known for his work on Will and Grace and American Horror Story. In an upcoming collaboration with Ryan Murphy, he will co-star with another American Horror Story alum, Dylan McDermott.
Next week, Queer Up Vote 2020. Modern history is made as we have a virtual presidential debate. Except for Trump says no. Watch this.
How is the campaign reacting to this change by the commission, but also the president's decision to opt out if it's virtual?
Well, Diane, good morning to you. Shortly after that Fox Business interview where the president said he didn't think that virtual debate was going to be worth his time, the campaign released a statement, and I want to read a portion of it to you. President Trump won the first debate despite a terrible and biased moderator, Chris Wallace, and everybody knows it. That statement goes on to say that the Presidential Debate Commission to now rush to Joe Biden's defense by unilaterally canceling an in-person debate is...
A televised presidential debate has been a staple of the American election season for decades. This year, the debate was planning on going virtual due to coronavirus concerns. The move to virtual is especially pertinent considering Trump's recent diagnosis as COVID-19 positive. However, in a move that anyone could have predicted, Trump is refusing to participate in a virtual debate. Experts speculate that he foresees being unable to capture attention the way he does in person. Each week, the polls reflect a gradual shift towards former VP Biden. At this point, it's no surprise that the incompetent incumbent fears for his job.
Can you say that 3 times?
Incompetent incumbent, incompetent incumbent, incompetent incumbent.
Very good. Next, let's capture and catch up. I can't even do it, on all of the news surrounding COVID-19 with our segment that we call Quarantine Quickies. These are the biggest stories relating to the ongoing pandemic.
Quarantine Quickies. Fauci. Up to 28,000 LGBTQ and 400,000 Americans could die of COVID-19 without safeguards. Watch this.
The nation's top infectious disease specialist, who's gotten it right most of the time so far, has a rough winter forecast tonight.
We could have from 300,000 to 400,000 deaths. That would be just so tragic if that happens.
It's hard enough as it is on healthcare workers. A new report from Kaiser Health says that more than 1,200 of them have died from COVID-19 during this pandemic. And the racial disparities we see in the rest of America are here too. 63% of healthcare workers who died are people of color.
Public health expert Anthony Fauci is warning the public that the death count will continue to rise without proper safeguards. Experts predict that the fall and winter will return us to the early pandemic days of high death rates and even higher infection rates. We have lost around 211,000 Americans to COVID so far, and it is likely that the cold season's second wave will take another 400,000 lives if the public cannot commit to hand washing, wearing masks, and social distancing. This should ring especially important to the LGBTQ community, who represent 7% of the general population and have unfortunately had the distinction of now suffering through multiple pandemics that have ravaged our community.
You know, this is until we actually have leadership in Washington, it's just going to keep getting worse. And I fear for the more people who are going to die. I've already lost friends, and I don't want to lose any more.
I wonder if the headline that Fauci basically puts out, the potential of 400,000 community deaths based on percentage of LGBTQ population, 28,000 additional deaths in our own community. I wonder if that headline soundbite is going to resonate on us, or we're just to the point of numbness and acceptance. I don't know yet.
Prayers, lots of prayers. You know what I keep on thinking about is that meme that says that every end of the world movie starts off with the government not listening to a very smart scientist. Yeah, that's us right now.
Oh, wow. We're living a sci-fi movie.
If only. Quarantine Quickies. Only 2 U.S. states report a decline of new cases, and nationwide hospitalizations are increasing. According to the COVID Tracking Project, the United States is miles away from being in the clear as it relates to the coronavirus pandemic's toll on the American population. Cases are still trending upward in all but 2 states, Alabama and Hawaii. Across the country, hospitalizations are surging and fatalities are increasing. Many states reached record highs this week, so it's clear that the pandemic is far from over. Thankfully, public leaders are pushing and renewing safety measures to prevent and slow the spread of the virus. Not so thankfully, the president seems set to deny everything until all the witnesses to that denial die of COVID-19.
Well, next we're going to Queer Up Vote 2020 in reporting that Happening Out Television Network, including Queer News Tonight, will sponsor the National LGBTQ Vote 2020 Debate and Smackdown on Friday, October 16th at 7:30 p.m. live. Watch Well, the debate will feature some of the greatest LGBTQ conservative Trump voices in America, from #Walkaway and Americans for Trump, including founder Brandon Straka. They will debate the Vote 2020 issues with liberal hosts from Gay Town Hall. You can participate in person at the event being held in the gayest place on planet Earth, right here in South Florida, or you can participate in the event virtually. It will be an outstanding opportunity for you to be able to make up your decision for November 3rd. The National LGBTQ Vote 2020 debate and smackdown will be moderated by me, so make sure to tune in. And I for sure don't want to be criticized like Chris Wallace was. So if that wasn't exciting enough, now it is time for our photo essay for this evening on Queer News Tonight. Politically progressive Boston, Massachusetts is not only the capital of the first state that legalized gay marriage, it's also within a 3-hour drive of countless gay-friendly resorts and vacation destinations that we celebrate tonight in this photo essay of the 10 best fall vacations in LGBTQ New England. Watch this.
Queer News Tonight presents the 10 best fall vacations in LGBTQ New England. Number 10. The White Mountains, New Hampshire. Northern New Hampshire's White Mountains contain the highest peaks in the Northeast and are a popular playground for hiking and biking in summer. Number 9. Vermont. The entire state of Vermont offers countless charms. Number 8. Provincetown, Massachusetts. Number 7. Providence, Rhode Island. The second largest city in New England. Number 6. Portsmouth, New Hampshire. A short drive north from Boston, Portsmouth is a small urban jewel along New Hampshire's fairly short stretch of Atlantic Ocean front. Number 5. Agumquit and Portland, Maine. Number 4. Northampton and the Pioneer Valley. Number 3. Newport, Rhode Island. This upscale town with a stunning setting on Aquidneck Island is still a favorite getaway of the rich and famous, but Newport's bounty of fine hotels and restaurants appeals to a broader spectrum. Number 2. Martha's Vineyard. LGBTQ travelers who venture to Cape Cod often keep right on going to the end of the road, but the rest of the Cape is quite charming and completely gay-friendly. And number 1. The Berkshires. In the hilly, rural western reaches of Massachusetts, you'll find the Berkshires, a region famous for its vibrant summer performing arts programs. This has been the 10 best fall vacations in LGBTQ New England. Presented by Queer News Tonight. What did you think? Share your thoughts in the live comment thread. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Happening Out Television Network is broadcasting on our brand new set in partnership with the Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church in Fort Lauderdale and Wilton Manors, Florida. We always joke it's the gayest place on planet Earth, and our support of their Sunday celebration is the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world, every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, completely live. We encourage you to tune in. Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hello, I'm Kishai Martin, board member of Unity Coalition, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
We'd also like to thank our set designer, Concepto Modern Living, here in Fort Lauderdale for making this set in this amazing queer church campus possible. Well, now we're going to end tonight's broadcast with the big finish. These are short story mentions of LGBTQ news and news with a gay perspective. So here we go. First on Queer News Tonight's The Big Finish. You can pre-order a $100 Trump defeats COVID-19 commemorative coin at the White House gift shop.
No. Okay, two things. One, is the coin orange like his? And two, does it say, what is it? Trump conquers, what does it say? Trump conquers Corona? Trump beats Corona. And on the other side, it says, okay, with the best healthcare in the world, with experimental drugs not allowed by anybody else to use, with all of it being paid by our tax-paying money. No, that all doesn't fit on the back part of the point.
You know, this is brilliant marketing, though, because White House gift shop has nothing to do with the White House. I'm sure these are Trump-approved, though.
A new low. We've hit a new low. I am personally, however, holding out for the limited run of 200,000 for, okay, Trump didn't defeat all the COVID coin. The big finish. Eric Trump claimed his daddy literally saved Christianity. Seriously, he said it. Watch this.
He's protected the Second Amendment. He's literally saved Christianity. I mean, there's a full-out war on faith in this country by the other side. I mean, the Democratic Party, the far left, has become the party of the quote-unquote atheist. I mean, they want to attack Christianity. They want to close churches. They want to, you know, they're totally fine keeping liquor stores open, but they want to close churches all over the country. I mean...
oh God, no puedo, okay? That in Spanish means I can't, okay? And thank you to whoever picked that particular picture with his tongue out, okay? And at this point, why are we surprised by anybody with the last name Trump saying ridiculous things like that?
So listen here, Eric. Okay, first of all, we're in a gay church, okay? Super liberal, and we were broadcasting during the entire pandemic. Second of all, yes, the liquor stores were open. Gays are very spiritual, and we have to get our spirits somewhere.
Did you know that Jesus died for our sins? And yet, Trump is apparently not man enough to do the same thing. If he's going to pretend to be Jesus Christ, at least get the basics right, dude.
Down off the cross, someone needs the whoop.
Exactly. The big finish. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the Pence debate fly as it checks into Walter Reed for COVID-19.
That fly. Oh my God. That fly was everything. Everything. Did you guys see it's got its own page and everything? We should name it. We need to name that fly. Thank you for that fly for breaking up the crazy in my mind yesterday. Thank you.
Well, you know, flies are drawn to shit, and there was plenty of it coming out. And, you know, they do say, when they go low, we go fly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We start the show with a fly, we end the show with a fly.
But
for the party who says gays are the devil's work, Pence sure seems to have a lot of symbolic gestures towards the fact that the Dark Lord is really the one approving all of his messages.
Google Beelzebub.
That is today's news for the LGBTQ community on the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Remember, if it's important to the LGBT community, even if it's just a fly, it's important to Queer News Tonight. But you must help us. Click subscribe on YouTube and share this news.
We are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Apparently, we're not fearful of anything. This is the only source of live LGBTQ news in the world, and your community needs your support.
You are not alone. We will get through this crisis.
Like the fly on Pence's hair, we're here with you. And this is Queer News Tonight.
Can we do any more fly jokes?
Oh, I'm
just
sure
saying.
We can get some.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Al Ferguson, and on behalf of Faye What and David Hopkins, we are going to see you daily at 7 p.m. Good night, America.
Good night.